Everybody doing out there? YDBT Daily coming at you every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk to the people. We do Talking Shit on Tuesday. We do Peasant Chat on Sunday. And we do YDBT Daily on Thursday. Today what I want to talk about is now that a lot of the cars are getting tuned, we're talking about factory supercharged vehicles, aftermarket supercharged vehicles with encrypted tunes. What is it that you expect and what to expect out of an aftermarket tuned factory supercharged vehicles? Factory supercharged vehicles have been coming out for a very long time. I'm talking about directly from Ford, whether it's GT500, whether it's Raptor, excuse me, whether it's the old Roush stuff or the Gen 3 Roush stuff, which Lund didn't really get into because, I'll be honest, that's one of those markets that we throttled because we didn't see any meat on the bone. And a lot of people pushed that platform, and then you saw that there really wasn't anything there. And then what ended up happening is people used that specific tune, the Roush tune, to piggyback and do map stuff on other Gen 3 stuff. So it's kind of interesting that didn't really go anywhere. And when Lund kind of tends to let something go, it doesn't really take off. So it's probably a good idea to, I don't know, like make it highly likely and highly desirable to have Lund tune your vehicle. We'll talk about that specifically. Also, David Logano, Head Games Motorworks, 3 weeks ago, he put out a video putting up a Gen 2 cylinder head with their CNC port against the Voodoo. Voodoo is real tough to beat. Very tough to beat. We'll talk about the results, but I suspect because he said, hey, we're going to do a Gen 3 head next. And I said it probably 2 months ago that the Gen 3 cylinder head, when worked over a little bit, might surprise some people of how it flows. We'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
It does suck. Well, you know what does not suck? It's PMAS. That's right, PMAS and Nick James and PMAS. They make the best cold air intake on the Mustang platform. Unfortunately, the 24 Mustang will not be able to enjoy the PMAS goodies because Ford did the smartest thing ever, or maybe for Nick James, the dumbest thing ever, and they made their car map sensor, MAP. So you're not really going to gain much from a PMAS anything on it because you can literally remove the cold air intakes from that piece of shit, stick the throttle bodies out the bitch, and flow bald eagles into the engine. DNAPperformance.com. If you want to get your PMAS cold air intakes for Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, or even your swap kits, check them out. Fuck JLT. JLT sucks. Don't buy a JLT intake. JLT is trash. DNAPperformance.com. If you want to trash JLT intake, I'm sure they can hook you up. 4 innovations, fuel systems, injectors, turbo systems, supercharger systems. Check out DNAPperformance.com. Hashtag YDBT at checkout. Partfarm.com. Hashtag YDBT at checkout. If you want some used Mustang parts, used Charger parts, used Camaro parts, body panels, wheels, tires, crank pallets. They got a couple of Voodoo motors coming up. They got a couple of Gen 2 motors coming up. They got great deals on Gen 1 pullouts. I don't pull out. They do. Check out partfarm.com. To Auto Salute John. He is the babysitter for the Dominican Republic. And he is also very busy building a lot of F-150s down there in Puerto Rico. So check him out. Rami Zaidan, the preeminent late model performance shop of Puerto Rico and Bellac Industries. If you want to make him go 100 miles an hour in boat, if you want to let the cops in your town know that you sell drugs, you simply get yourself a set of Bellac wheels and let everyone know that you sell drugs. Say hi to the, always, richprince.com/YDBT. You want to support the show and have some merchandise? You're going to go there, you're going to get your YDBT hat, your Emery hat, your YDBT Emery hat mesh style, trucker style, Dolo, YDBT flat and Emery flat. Section 8, shirts, hoodies, short sleeve, long sleeve, Hush Money, short sleeve, Hush Money's ready to get the motor. Just waiting for phaser bolts out of all things. Hoodies also, ZR50 shirt, hotness, badass shit. Check it out, ZR50. Booty juice, elote juice. These shirts sell so good. Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, GT350, 85 to 86, and 87 to 93. Save the manual shirts. 1320 videos for the homosexuals that love to video other guys racing their cars. 1320, F1320 video, YDBT vertical, horizontal, and all the goodies. Stickers. Guys, it's pretty good shit. We're doing good on the shirt stuff. We're doing really good. I'm getting a good chunk every month. Enough to buy another car. So Gen 2 Mustang might be coming down the pipe because I always said that a Gen 2 Mustang with a stock motor and a stock transmission, even studded, not even studded, stock, you might be able to go eights in it for $50,000 all in with an Aldo twin turbo. Okay. Tony the Truck Guy, Big Pops Beachside, Wesley Stewart, Bacho, Tony the Truck Guy, Destroyer, Nick Knotts, SoCal, Shotgunner, B. Lavesh, Destroyer, Tony the Truck Guy, Zeo33, Campzilla, 50 Outlaws, Frank, 81, Coca-Cola, Sinaloa Cartel member, Monty 540, 50 Outlaws, 1320 videos or Didios, Clint Stoke a couple of times, Jeffrey Cantalino, 2011, BK, 1 Turbo, holy shit. Eddie Freiberg, Tony the Truck Guy, Joe Swish, D-Rock Fox, Tony the Truck Guy, Toilet Dumper, John Bonanno, Michael Rodriguez. Are you the guy in Houston? Had a Camaro back in the day? Coca-Cola, SoCal Shotgunner, Tyler Wickley, Valley 10 Speed, hello. Tony the Truck Guy again, Redbird, God Save Me from Gen Z, Shake Weight Kyle, Faisal, TJ Skorsky, Bryson with the links, thank you very much. Whipple Tacoma, Whippled, 5034 V-Town, he'll fight you, semi-retired street racer Mark Christensen, 999 Barlow's, Clean 93 GT, Phil Fez, Mr. Phil Fez out of the joint, Clueless Mechanic, Phil Fez again, Marky Mark, Reflex, Marky Mark became a bitch of love member, DeBlue, Diego, Whipple Truck Guy, Jay Walker, Mr. BMW, Porsche, McLaren, Copperhead Gaskets, Andy Ali, Coca-Cola, Redneck Racing Network, says early for once, Mortal Stream, whatever the hell, Tracul, X, Blue, Bondo, all the usual suspects, guys. Thank you very much. So now that everything is pretty tunable, you're seeing everything kind of getting indexed. It's a flush. It's a flood. It's a rush of indexed late model Ford tuning. Okay, people at HP Tuners are indexing like crazy. Apparently, he got mad that some of you said that Junior is helping index. No, they don't. It's not that he's helping you index. He's helping you find shit that we need for the tuning world. And, you need a little help. Like, where is it? Where is it in the binary? Here it is. Add it. And then you give it to Braden. Braden does his thing. And bada bing, bada boom. All of a sudden, limiters get replaced and moved. And don't say it's not. Sorry. I've been there, done that, seen what happens in the background. So, what to expect from a factory Ford vehicle that is supercharged? Well, just like Roush tunes back in the day, 2015 to 2017 Stage 3 Roush tunes, you're not going to get a whole bunch of horsepower. Remember, this 2015 to 2017, which to me is probably the best Gen 2 Mustang ever made. 15 to 17 Roush Stage 3. Phase 2, which means an LU-47 injector, 80 millimeter pulley, and a booster pump. They were making 620 to 630 rear wheel horsepower at 7,000 RPMs, okay, with the LU-47 injector, stressing out that injector in 2015 to 2017. So if you find yourself a Roush Stage 3 with a Phase 2 system, oof, you got yourself probably one of the best all-around vehicles ever made, So if you were to get supercharged if you were to get tuned by an aftermarket tuner, well, they're going to ask you to probably put a brass sensor in it because we don't have access to the IMRC stuff with the IAT. They have different ways of doing things. But once you get it configured to the aftermarket, they'll say, hey, move up from an LU-47 for safety reasons. So at least a 52-pound GT500 injector from a 1314 or even a Predator 55 nowadays would be plenty. And you can make the same horsepower, but the performance is better. Alex, how's that possible? How can a car that makes the same horsepower perform better? Well, let's just talk about torque reduction and shift schedule. Torque reduction is a way of, let's just say, lessening the impact of the power making its way to the rear wheels. You know what I mean? Let's say there's a way that you can just floor it and there is an instant boom, bada bing, power to the rear wheels. Well, on a lot of these calibrations, especially through Ford, they reduce torque, especially on the shifts. The reason they reduce torque, and it is called torque reduction, not torque management, you asshole Chevy guys. You asshole Chevy guys piss me off every time you go, can you turn off torque management? It's torque reduction. You are reducing torque to make a shift. Once you have a tuner that understands how to massage the torque reduction, your car can go faster. So let's say you have a 2015 to 2017 Roush and it made 620 rear wheel horsepower and it's an automatic, let's just say phase 2, stage 3. Okay, well, I guarantee that thing is shifting at 6,800 RPMs. I guarantee that the 1, 2, and 2, 3 shift are going to be soft as shit. Why? So that you don't explode the driveline, so that you don't explode your planetary, so you don't explode your intermediate shaft, so you don't explode your axles or your drive shaft. But we all know the quicker you can make the torque transfer to the rear wheels, the faster the car will go. So while the car makes the same horsepower, the torque reduction being massaged in such a way that it's less intrusive will allow your car to be faster. Now, in a lot of factory Ford applications, they tend to limit throttle. They tend to limit RPM. So let's say, for instance, you did have the ability to rev a 15 to 17 Roush calibration higher to, let's say, 7,500 RPMs. Well, now you need a different injector just so you have overhead. So that 52 allows you to rev to 7,500. So your 620 rear wheel horsepower manual phase 2 stage 3 Roush now makes 640. Another 20 at 7,500 RPMs. That extra 700 RPMs allow you to make more boost because you're spinning the pulley faster. So that's the advantage of getting an aftermarket tune. But sometimes the aftermarket tunes are so good in terms of power that you don't see much gain in the horsepower realm. But when it comes to performance, it performs better. So let's bring that up to modern standards. 2024 to 2025 Mustang are now tunable Dark Horse and GT and Raptors, and 24 to 25 Whipple trucks will be indexed soon to be also Roush, launch edition superchargers with the twin inlet. That's the one I'm excited for, because I know that Roush is a little on the soft side on that calibration. They're not super aggressive. Yes, they've gone 9s on the badass calibration, but I think there's a lot more left in it if you were to get John Lund on the keyboards, on the 1s and 2s, and messing with that. So I think that's the supercharger that Lund Racing should get. They already have a Whipple Gen 3. They don't need another Whipple car in the stable. All they need is another, in my opinion, a TVS Roush twin inlet 24 GT is better for the sake of data. Now, truth be told, we have a Whipple 24 in-house that we were given the keys to the castle to, and Junior is now in the middle of massaging that calibration. And once he feels that calibration is legit, then we're going to go ahead and offer it for the general public, but not until he is happy with that calibration will he be able to say, let's get after it. So let's just say he gets in it, goes wide open throttle, does a 60 to 130, and let's say on a 3.8 or 3.7 pulley, because the stock tune from Whipple gets about 16 to 17 degrees of spark advance, which is aggressive, but they give it to it and the car takes it, no problem. Let's say it makes 680 rear wheel horsepower, but let's say it runs 60 to 130 in the 7.0 to 6.8 range. So let's say 6.8 to 7.0. If Junior finds a way of massaging the existing calibration in terms of torque reduction, I guarantee, and shifts it a little higher, a little cleaner, a little more pressure on the guy, I guarantee that 6.8 to 7.0, 60 to 130 will end up being a 6.6 to 6.8, 60 to 130, same peak horsepower. So that is the methodology that a lot of these aftermarket tuners tend to take on these aftermarket calibrated factory supercharged vehicles. Raptor Rs are probably the best example. I think the Raptor R was on purpose, let's just say, neutered, because there is a lot on the table. It is a voodoo motor with a cross-plane crank. That's all I say about that. It is a Predator motor, so a voodoo motor with a cross-plane crank. You have the good heads, the good camshafts, and the extra displacement with a 2650 already on top of it, a GT500 motor. We all know the GT500 motor made over 750 or 760 horsepower with a tune. That thing was pretty wicked, but the problem was the DCT. You couldn't really massage anything on the DCT. You had no real 100% unfettered access to the torque management. You had some shift RPM schedule and stuff like that, but nothing saucy. The 10R80, when you have full access to the 10R80 in the Raptor, oh my God, will it gain a ton. Not only can you make more horsepower because Ford purposely detuned the Raptor R, you can go quicker because now you have full access to all of the torque reduction, all of the shift pressures, all of the shift scheduling, and you will gain a lot more than likely with a Raptor R. For example, I've seen Lund tuned Raptor R's that factory run 12.0 to 11.8 now run 11.7 to 11.5. Now, you might not say that's not a big deal. Well, if you want to get to the mall really fucking fast and crawl at the mall, well, an aftermarket tuned Raptor R is probably up your alley. Or if you want to pre-run your Raptor R, you can probably do it a little quicker with an aftermarket tune on it. But it all depends on the use case or the case use of this vehicle. So I think the aftermarket is going to benefit highly from the unlocking of these factory supercharged vehicles, and the customer is going to benefit the most because now he could put headers in it, now he could put a fuel system in it, now he could put real pumps in it, real fuel systems, real injectors in it, pull it down safely to full E85 and not rely on the bullshit gimmick that was E30. And your cars are really going to benefit from this specific change, which is torque reduction being massaged in such a way to make it shift better, higher RPM ranges, better shift scheduling, and that's where the sauce is on factory supercharged stuff. You don't necessarily have to pull it down, but you can see a big gain just from a tune, because a lot of people say, well, how come on a factory supercharged vehicle you can gain from a tune, but on an NA, it's supercharged. The factory on purpose detunes it or has heavy torque reduction to interfere so that the transmission does not blow up. So, again, thank you very much. We'll talk about that a little bit. So, David Locano, is it Locano? Head Games Motorworks did a video the other day, about 3 weeks ago, and I apologize that I did not get to it. He did a so he recovered from so apparently David was taking a shit and he passed out and he smashed his head on the wall, so he's okay now. I've never passed out while taking a shit, but it's all good, brother. So let's get to the meat and potatoes. He was like, fuck you, bro. So I'm glad you recovered from the passing out while taking a shit. So Gen 2 CNC ported cylinder head versus a Voodoo. We all know Voodoo is King Daddy. On the exhaust side, the Voodoo beats it by a little bit. He talks about it at length. I highly urge you to watch this video. He goes into very in-depth explanations. He talks about the seat angle. He talks about all this shit that I don't know about. So on the exhaust side, the Gen 2 CNC is in blue. The Voodoo seems to outflow it very slightly. And then on the intake side, the Gen 2, it's a little closer. That's where the power is. The intake side is where the power is. So it's pretty darn close. So if you can't find yourself a set of Voodoo heads, get your Gen 2 or Gen 1 heads or Boss heads over to Head Games Motorworks and get them CNC'd, get them done, and they're going to flow pretty damn close to the Billy Badass head that is the Voodoo. So check him out. Wish him a happy recovery and a safe recovery from passing out on the toilet and smashing his head on the wall. Luckily, he has a nice wife that was able to save him from the shitter. Could you imagine being saved from the shitter by your wife? I love you. He's probably like, you son of a bitch. How dare you? So, does this make you want to buy $100,000 Raptor R? Does this make you want to buy a Gen 3 Roush vehicle? If you want to buy a Gen 3 Roush vehicle, that's fine. Lund is not going to touch it. It is just not good. And I think Roush is going to go ahead and use that same intercooler on the bottom blower on their new F-150, whatever they're going to come out with, which I think is a big mistake. I'll be honest with you. I think it's a big mistake to have Roush. I love you, Roush. Roush, I don't know what's going on. Maybe you casted 1 million of these things and you got to get them out there. Remember the 1.9 liter rear feed TVS, Roush? Remember that? Boy, if there is no bigger fleecing than the M90 replacement. You know what the M90 was, guys? The M90 Roush Supercharger was the most, you want to talk about a fleecing. So the M90 Supercharger came in, I believe, 3 valves. 1.9 replacement. Yeah. Let me see. All AI mode. All. So the 1.9 TVS was a supercharger made by Roush, and it was marketed by VMP as a replacement to their M90 equipped. Oh my God. to their M90 equipped. Can we just see the supercharger, please? There it is. So this was this little 1.9 liter supercharger that Roush used to make, right? Rear feed. They marketed this as a upgrade from the M90. And to be honest with you, this little 1.9 was pretty stout. But the problem was the 3-valve was such a piece of shit that not a lot of people bought a 3-valve with an M90. The factory supercharger on a Roush equipped supercharged 3-valve was a M90. This was the replacement or the upgrade for it. They made VMP by so many of them that I guarantee there is a warehouse somewhere with about 80 of those things just collecting dust. It's actually a pretty funny story. If somebody made an adapter of some sorts to make that little 1.9 fit other platforms, I think you could probably get a pallet full of M90s pretty cheap. But the problem with Roush, I think they ended up, overreaching with their 2650. If you see their 2650 design, it is a VMP blower, Merc, but it is casted by Roush. And Roush made VMP by all these blowers, and they just couldn't sell enough of them because, let's be honest, they were only upgrade to already supercharged equipped Roush 3-valves. So how many 3-valves, Roush supercharged 3-valves, do you think sold between 06 and 10? Not that many. And then how many do you think would pay for an upgrade on a 3-valve for a 1.9 liter TVS blower? Not that many. So it wasn't really like desirable. So the Gen 3 version of their supercharger is basically the 2650 from previous generations with a throttle body punched in the front. And the opening was only as big as 87 millimeter, I think. And it's sucked in from the side of the, like from one of the rotors. It's Gen 3 TVS Roush. It is one of the all-time bad designs I think I've ever seen in probably any vehicle. Let me see if I can find a really good picture of it. Yeah. So this is probably one of the worst designed supercharger systems I think I've ever seen. Right here, the Roush front feed 2650. Just an app, by the way, shout out to UPR. They want to become a channel sponsor, so we're going to see if we can give away some catch cans, some control arms, some Fox body goodies. I'm going to talk to Mark. I'm going to talk to Joe. I'm going to say, Joe, want to be a sponsor? This is all it takes. You give the people some stuff, and you guys will benefit from UPR stuff. You got a Fox body, you want a complete rear control arm kit, catch can, you name it, a freaking K member, we'll get it coming. But this is what they offered on 18 to 23. Now, remember, I was working at VMP at the time when they introduced this thing, and it went over like a lead balloon, meaning it did not go over. It was hilariously bad, just bad. Everything about this supercharger system was bad. It's a 2650. It suctioned through a straw, and it suctioned through like one of the rotors. It just did not do well, and the intercooler was too narrow. It just full of heat soak issues. The F-150s didn't do well. People were literally ripping them out. And you can find these takeoffs everywhere. Everywhere. You can find these takeoff blowers for no money. And it was a speed density calibration. So it was a specific calibration. It was an undesirable blower. It was an undesirable intercooler. So I think on their new truck, their F-150 that they're going to introduce, I don't know, in the next couple of months, they're probably going to have this blower on it. And I'm sorry, Roush. You should just work with Magnuson again and say, we will calibrate, Roush, your Magnuson blower and offer the Magnuson supercharger with a big single inlet curved up to be able to receive the cold air angle of the F-150. That is something that Magnuson is working on. We've seen video and we talk about it all the time. I'm in communication with them. I'd love to be able to get an F-150 with a Roush blower on it, but we talked about the configuration and stuff, and I just don't want to go into another $55,000 worth of debt for a truck I don't need. But I think Roush is making a big mistake, and they're gonna see sales dwindle if they don't make a big change, because nobody's talking about Roush right now. But I guarantee we're not going to support that either. And if we do support it, it's going to be in a limited fashion because eventually we'll have to support it if enough people talk about it. But we can dictate what sells and what doesn't sell based on what we support. So it'll be interesting to see what Roush does with their calibration, see if the truck performs any better, see if they improved on the intercooler or the heat exchanger side. But I don't have high hopes because of the supercharger itself. So I think factory supercharged vehicles like the GT500 or up-and-coming Cobra or the Raptor is a better buy, in my opinion. So we'll get your comments, concerns. We'll talk a little shit for a little bit. Let me go on. Thanks for letting me go on for almost a half hour talking about that stuff. But there's a lot of stuff I got to get out so that we can then set up what to talk about with the people out there. Poor guy getting choked out by the toilet seat. Must have been one hell of a dump. Yeah, he said that he just passed out dumping. Crazy. Anyone have a recommendation for adding power to a road race application? High mileage Gen 1 Coyote staying in 8 and on pump gas. Okay, adding power to a already tired motor. Without more RPM and a manifold to complement that RPM, you're not going to make that much more power. So if you have a Gen 1 Mustang and you're road racing it, you want to keep as much torque as possible. You want to keep the underhood temperatures down. That's a big thing. I would honestly do an 18 manifold on it, LU47s. Not necessarily go for E85, but if you did have, let's say, the access to E85, I think that's a better bet. Fill up the tank and it'll last you probably a 15-minute session, depending on how long the road course is and how much, straightaways there are. So I would do E85, LU47s, 18 manifold, and a PMAS colder intake, exactly like I configured Donnie, and that literally made the biggest change possible. Was it the M90 on the old Super Coupes? I don't know. But the M90 on the 3-valve Coyotes was terrible. Like, good horsepower for an M90 equipped 3-valve was 400 to the wheels. A V8 that is supercharged, making 400 to the wheels. And you could not really go crazy with it unless you go to Brent Speed, you buy a stroker kit, and then that 3-valve can be mated with the 1.9 or the 2.3, because if I'm not mistaken, Roush had blackjack or hammers that were 2.3 liter equipped illuminator engined Mustangs in 2009, I think. I think it was called the Jackhammer or the P51. I remember going to Sarrett Ford in Agawam, Massachusetts, just to look at the latest and greatest Roush shit. I'd go there and I'm like, holy shit, there is a Roush Jackhammer or whatever the fuck it was called. And it was black on black on black. Black wheels, black everything. 2.3 liter supercharger. They wanted back in the day $50,000 back in like 2010. I'm like, fuck, that thing is badass. It was so cool. But it's a 3-valve, so it's gay. That's how Elvis died on the can. 1155 and 122 was a disgrace. Roush, better listen. Is there a way to change the front feet on that shit ass 2650 to make a rear feet in the back like the Roush 2300? I don't think so. We need, oh my God, cookie sponsors. I mean, look, you guys, okay, you guys, okay, let's put it up to a vote. Let me see. Hold on, kiddos. Because look, the fans drive the show. And if you guys want the cookie sponsored back, we can do it. Do we want, oh my God, oh my God. DMG, oh my God, cookies back as a sponsor. And then we go yes or no. And then we start poll. And if you say yes, the people get what they want. And I'll talk to them and say, what do you want to do? And then we'll just give away cookies. Okay. So every time I comment about how Roush 2650 is junk, my comment gets deleted. I'm not deleting it. Now that Gen 4 is tunable, do you think it'll hurt the resale value of Gen 2? You're going to be mind blown how Gen 2 is going to go up in value. Why? Because now that Gen 4 is tunable, you have better financing rates, better terms, better rebates, and the aftermarket is just concentrating on that. But one thing you don't have to worry about on Gen 2 is the following. DI, not a problem. 10R80 issues, not a problem. Tuning, everything. Aldo kits, wish blowers, Paxton 2200 SLs, Vortex, Pro Chargers, Gen 3 TVS, Gen 2 Whipple, Gen 5, Gen 6, reverse compatible stuff. It is so configurable. It looked exactly like every other car up to 2024, except a little bit on the nose here, a little bit on the nose there. But a premium or Cali special Gen 2, you're not going to really see it dip down under 28,000 bucks. And if you do, it has a lot of miles. So you're going to go out there on Car Gurus and all those other websites, and you're going to be like, damn, these cars are still holding crazy value. A 30,000 mile Gen 2 premium MT82 tight gear ratio. Guys, the gear, drive a Gen 2 MT82 car. It is the chef's kiss with how tight the gear ratio is. A 373 MT82 Gen 2 car is badass. When you supercharge it, put a set of 331s in the bitch, brother, it is so sick. You're going to see the value go up on those guys. Bet me. The market might get flooded a little bit, but those that know, keep their Gen 2. Gen 1, good luck, but you cannot finance. Now, this is the reason I say Gen 2 is going to be popular. Some places will still finance a 10-year-old vehicle. Gen 1, se acabó el party. You're not going to be able to finance that motherfucker. I was like, unless you're okay with a bad rate or you put a lot of money down. Okay, I put a big chunk down and I just wanted to have a monthly nut because it's going to be a content source. So I don't want to be out that 20 grand. But if you're going to get yourself into a Gen 2, I'm looking to buy seniors, black, Gen 2, they call the money pit, with an Aldo kit ready to go. And you will not see it on this channel until it is already turbocharged. So the goal with that car would be 8s for $50,000. Because right now, it's going to be tough to go 8s for $50,000 with a Gen 4 or a Gen 3. Gen 3 is close because you're seeing Gen 3s because I talked about how desirable they're going to be because they're fully financeable. You can finance a 21 with good terms, a 20, not so much in 5 years. It gets a little wonky depending on the bank. A lot of banks won't finance a vehicle that's over 10 years old or 5 years old. So check with your local bank or credit union. But if it's 5 years or newer, they're going to finance it probably 100%. So that car is going to be even more desirable. So I still think you can go 8s for $50,000 on a Gen 2 easier than a Gen 3 because of the 10R freaking 80 not being super happy at big power levels. Can you do it once or twice? Maybe, but not for like a season. That Coke shit killed them. Most common heartache times are Monday morning before work week on the toilet. Nardi tried to hide that mishap. What did Nardi say? I don't know what he said. Depends on the man, and S650 starts selling more. Alex, I bought an LRX and fired up my Gen 3 shop. I was told the data log did not have any usable data. What should my next step be? Re-data log the car. Do not turn off the car before you stop the log. Turn the car on. Go to data logging. Data log the parameters. Make sure it's recording by this big red word that says recording on it. Do the parameters we want in one long log. Stop the data log. Then turn off the car. This is what people do. Oh, Alex said he wants a 3,500 to 6,000 RPM hit. Here we go. So they're rolling. They hit start data logging. Then they floor it. They go. Boom. Then they hit stop data logging. That bitch didn't record nothing. Because by the time you hit start data logging, it starts saying processing, logging, and then you let off and hit it again. So I see a 2-second blip of you letting off. So what do? If you're going to do a wide open throttle hit, you turn the car on and you start data logging. Go drive to wherever you're going to drive. Do the hit or the parameters they ask for. Come to a safe, complete stop. Then stop the data log. I am blown away that people fuck that up. Unreal. Hey, Alex, I got a Boss 302 VMP Gen 3 Illuminator Motor Goal. Okay, I got a Boss 302 VMP Gen 3 Illuminator. Good for you. Motor Goal is 9 to 1,000 horsepower. Would you do a Turbo 400 or build 6R80? If you're drag racing, if it's a street car, you do a 6R80. If If it's a drag car, you do a turbo 400. I remember when I bought my Gen 1 for 18,000 low miles. Now they're all for $20,000, 100,000 miles because it looks like a Mustang. You cannot mistake the Gen 1. That's a Mustang. You look at a Gen 2, you go, is that a Honda Accord? Is that a Camry? It's a Mustang? Hey, Alex, you are helping me with my Hellion Sleeper Twin Turbo 350 with the bad idle issue. I already replaced both frontal tubes. You think moving the MAF to a charge pipe will make the difference? Yes. Oh my God, Oliver Bryan. If you were willing to relocate the MAF to the charge pipe, you would be my best friend on the planet. One of the biggest mistakes that manufacturers do is they get a little lost in the sauce. And they're like, well, let's place the MAF sensor in a square box. Like, in what planet does that make any sense? And the problem is this, right? Why do OEMs put it in a round two? Like, hey, every turbo manufacturer out there, oh yeah, and Procharger. Jesus Christ, Jesus H. Christ, Procharger. Stop putting your fucking MAF sensors in a square area. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why do the OEMs, since the beginning of time, put it in a round two? Because that's where you get the best signal. Now, Procharger does make a kit where you can put the MAF sensor in the charge pipe. But goddamn it, aren't there still kits that have a stage 1 intercooler, different MAF curve because it's in the fucking intercooler. Stage 2 intercooler, different MAF curve because it's in the intercooler. Race intercooler, different MAF. You have 3 different MAF curves, MAF, for 3 different intercoolers. The fuck is wrong with you? Who is your engineer? Stop that. You make like Vortec and Paxton and believe it or not, who else? Vortec and Paxton, I can't think of anyone else because no one else matters. They have a MAF housing that's the same on all their kits. So when I go Vortec, here's the MAF curve. Procharger, what stage do you have? Stage 2. Is it in the charge pipe? No, it's in the intercooler. Okay, are you sure it's a stage 2? Well, I'm not sure. I bought it used. It says HO on it. Well, that could be HO or race. I don't know. Unreal. So if you have a Hellion-equipped Mustang and the MAF sensor is in the intercooler, you want to make your tuner and yourself happy? Put that sucker in the charge pipe. Cut the charge pipe, buy a MAF housing, stick it in between, couple it or weld it with a flange, and I bet you that bitch is going to tune wonderfully. It's going to run well. It's going to just do wonderful, beautiful things. But no, we have people out there in the aftermarket that will look at you in the eye sockets and go, yeah, this is in the intercooler. Why? How does the air flow in an intercooler that would say it's laminar and predictable? A lot of the times it comes in like at a triangular shape. Triangular. If you saw the MAF curves I've seen on Procharger setups and Hellion setups, you would laugh your ass off. Square box for MAF equals more horsepowers. Duh, Alex. Bizarro Planet is square. Luckily, the early S197s are easy to coyote swap. Catch in the live, hit the like button. 2-second blimp. I stop at a gas station, start data log, then drive off, make a hit, and pull over and stop the data log. Link from LR channel. Well, I don't want to click that because it's probably going to... Junior's like chewing gum. Let me see.
This is John.
Half hour. It's a half hour. You can see he's sick of y'all motherfuckers. Look at John is sick of y'all motherfuckers. There's John Lund.
Lund Jr. at Lund Racing.
Fuck you guys.
I'm going to
explain to you every Jose, every guy named Ez, Melendez, Fernandez, Morales.
Briefly show you.
And you're still going to fuck it up.
How?
Wait, I don't understand. Where you pushing the thing? Okay. It says the programming, module info, diagnostic and tools, data logging. Hey, Lund, where do I go to data log? You see that thing that says data logging? Yeah. Click that. Oh, haha, my bad.
Actually seems to touch better than the Engage screen does, and you have a little.
He's sick of y'all. He's sick of all y'all. Don't let him get fooled. He hates you. He hates your guts. Oh fuck. Certified JB welder, map sensor location. Yes. Let's do it. Pro charger map sensor location. Images. Coyote. Okay, let me see. Talk about it. Ooh, baby, beep, boop, beep, boop, 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 beep, beep, boop. Gotta move on. Oh, yeah, check this out. Do. Won't you take me to Funky Town? Won't you take me to Funky Town? You fucking piece of shit. Bam in it. Bam it. Look at that. Right there, guys. Right there. Look at the genius position. You know, you could have it here. Nope. Right here. You know, where should we stick the map sensor? How about in the most retarded place on the planet? The intercooler? Yeah. That's a great idea. And by the way, get a crank pulley that extends the crank 5 inches and puts extra strain on it. Can you put any Spanish in the settings? Okay, Alex, just watch Junior's whole 30-minute video. What now? But the problem is, right, that video needs to be revised because that video does not cover the fact that you do not have to, there is no cloud data logging anymore. You have to download your logs. But luckily, when I send you the instructions, you guys just don't even read them. You watch the whole video and then you go, okay, Alex, data logs uploaded. Did you read the instructions? Oh, órale. Coño, I don't think I read the instructions, man. I just clicked the first link and there was a 30-minute video. And in that video, I fell in love with John's Icelandic-looking eyes. And then I did what the video said. It said to say the logs have been uploaded to the cloud. Well, if you read the instruction, you would see that it says at the bottom, you, in capital letters, you will have to download your logs. Oh, wait. I'm so sorry. I gotta admit something to you, man. It's a little embarrassing to say, but I can't fucking read, man. I don't know how to fucking read, man. Say, I went to school in the valley, man. I can weld a pipe, no problem. But I can't read. Clip that. Eggers are horrible. Math on the intercooler. Come on, man. Alex singing Funky Town must be getting some basketball American. Toto, what do you think of the TR3160 in the Dark Horse rather than the MT82 in the GT for 800 horsepower? The MT82 is stronger. Found the issue, Alex. We good? Wait. Valley, what are you talking about? Are you talking about the MAF sensor? Valley, are you talking about the MAF sensor breakout harness for the IAT sensor? Here's the guide video. Ignore it and say it doesn't work. Do you believe the MAF sensor in the charge pad would be better for any car? Yes! A MAF sensor in the charge pipe should be universal. After the intercooler, of course. Universal. In the charge pipe. Pro charger. In the charge pipe. Hellion. In the charge pipe. Vortec already has it in the charge pipe. Paxton already has it in the charge pipe. Wishblower has it in the charge pipe. On 3 has it in the charge pipe. If On 3 has it in the charge pipe, you got no excuse. Orale, Ale, but I don't understand. I don't know how to fucking read, man.
Hey, get the fuck out of here because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
I stay off the grid. Do I need an email address to tune my car? Hey, Alex. Well, you know what's almost as bad as Edgar's, Hernandez's, Sanchez's, Velasquez's? Old white guys. Old white guys. Hey, man, I don't know anything about this computer shit. Back in my day, I used to turn the carburetor, crack the throttle a little bit, adjust the metering blocks, the idle air mixture screws, and just send it down the track and run a solid 14.0 at 98 miles an hour. Those were the days. This computer shit is junk. You are ordering a tune from a company that tunes remotely. You need to be up on computer game. At least Mexicans know how to fuck with an iPhone. See, Steve Jobs must have been like, let's get a toddler, a Mexican, and an old man, and what do they have in common? They all can manipulate an iPhone. Papi is charged up. Bro, the yes yell into the mic about blew me through the fucking wall. How do some people claim that the 3160 it's a Tremec? God, it's a Tremec. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You stupid. You're stupid. Duh, it's a Tremec! Wait, it's not better than the MT-82 made in China? No. Does the Torque Storm have charges? I love you, Savar Martiner. Savar Martiner, do you know that saying right there was one of the best lines, one of the people that were the nicest, funniest people I've ever worked with in my life was Chris Diaz at VMP. He had this swagger about him. The dude lived in a trailer in some mud pit. He didn't give a fuck. He acted like I love that guy. Good dad, too. Literally, good dad. Good with his dogs. Like, just a good dude. So every single time he would like do a quote for a customer, it'd be a little high. And I'm like, what's this for? He goes, just chalk it up to the game. So this remaining money goes, chalk it up to the game. God damn it, I missed that guy. He was so good to work with. Alex, you got to bring the YOLO back. So with that being said, my Civic is a 1.5T circulating blow-off valve system would still be relevant. What the fuck you talking about? Not only Mexicans know how to work iPhones, some of them know how to make crappy lawn racing videos too. I like how on every lawn racing video, they give off the fact that they're Mexican by not knowing how to pronounce video. They go videos. So the guy in California, the guy in Texas, and the other dickhead, because there's like two in California, because we know who you are. Fix your accent. I had two brand new MT-82, both had third gear issues. So realistically, the MT-82 will hold up to 700 horsepower while with a good clutch. Yeah, the problem is the shifting. The problem is you guys get a clutch that's made for a John Deere tractor, and then you power shift third. And the fork fucks up, and the gear is weak. But if you drive it like a normal ass person, it is great. Puro pinche 956 a la verga, cuz. It's puro pinche 956 a la verga, cuz. It's 100% right. Don't está puro pinche. Don't está puro pinche 956 a la verga, cuz. Don't está puro pinche.
Puro pinche 956 a la verga, cuz.
You got this, dog. Charge it to the game. Elite ball knowledge. Excellent way to tax people. Charge it to the game. Videos. Well, look, did you see yesterday the video that Alex made? You stupid ass, beaner ass, pendejo puto cabrón. Fuck out of here. Learn English, stupid. I was watching old YOLO videos. What happened to the one where you put the googly eyes on the black car? One of my favorites. Lawn pasta sauce motherfuckers in Cali. I'm on your ass. Slow 99 is going to dox everybody. Shout out to Slow 99. He knows what fucking taco stand they go to. He knows your order. I belong to the Tiny Hat Mafia. Can a 10R80 live a happy life at, I don't know, 850 horsepower? Drag and roll racing frequently. Okay. If you have the ability to connect to the car with either ForeScan or FDRS or whatever, and you disable the adaptive learning feature on the transmission, and you have an aftermarket built transmission, like, you know, Midnight, Finish Line Performance, or even RSA, I think you'll have a good chance of lasting a long time, no higher than 850 real horsepower. Now, when you start going with the 1,000, 1,100s, 1,200 real horsepower, no. It's just a matter of time before you smoke that bitch. Like, I don't care what any aftermarket transmission manufacturer is going to... I've seen it too many times where it's like, awesome, and then there is just this threshold that when you go past it, see ya. Se acabó el party. And it starts to complain. And you're like, it's time to put some new clutches in it, pendejo. So 99 EPA, better than the CIA, and soliciting info. Is old catch can worth having an 18 F-150 stock? Look, if you want a inline catch can that does not vent to atmosphere, in the event that you want to make sure no oil gets into the manifold, that's fine. That is your right. There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing negative about that. I just don't know in an F-150 application that isn't boosted whether it's necessary or not. If it's naturally aspirated, you don't have crankcase ventilation issues. So you can recirculate it with a sealed catch can, no problem. Or if you want to vent both to atmosphere and don't mind a little bit of smell, nothing wrong with that. But when boosted, I want all the air out of the crankcase for sure. Got nothing for you on the certain court case after stream. It's gonna be on Zoom, so the whole Lund crew can watch. Get the popcorn ready, motherfuckers. 10R80 can't even live a happy full bolt-on NA life. Ask me how I know. Is it possible to get into the 460 and 130 with MT82 stock engine Gen 3? Yes. Yep. Fucking 20 PSI. Yeah, 20 PSI. It's up there. Anyone heard of Chevy holding annual meets at Ram Ranch? I don't know what you're talking about. TDC live soon? Probably not. I got a lot to talk about on TDC, but when would be the best day? Like Monday, Wednesday? When would be the best day if I wanted to do weekly? Because now I got a lot of stuff, backlogged. Do you know what I'm saying? What is Slow 99 even rambling about? Oh, you don't know. Unless you're on Patreon, $15 a month, you don't know. We are up on game. How to dig race with the 10R. Have 2 backups in the trailer. What do you mean? You get a second gear leaf tune, a 10R stager, and an aftermarket converter with a 2-step. There you go. 10R80 signature smell clutches. Yeah, look, I'm telling you, the 10R80 should not be a transmission that you guys trust. That's why I think the Raptor, if it has a 10R80, not a 10R like 100 or whatever the hell, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of 10 whole freaking speeds. 10 whole speeds. Clutch size. Clamping force. I'm not a big fan. I think if you want to race a aftermarket built overdrive style transmission, 6R80 and 8HP 90 or 95 are the way to go. 10R80 to me is a non-starter. Sebastian Delgado says, hey Alex, I had no idea the 21 plus F-150 Coyotes had a belt-driven oil pump. Do you think that'll be an issue down the line with long-term reliability? I honestly had no idea. Some people have reported like Kevlar chunks ended up in the oil pan and all the bullshit. But I personally, in my line of work, which is just tuning, I haven't heard of a customer say, órale, home, yo estaba troqueando. Yo estaba con una torta troqueando and some guy pull up, man. Some guy pull up. Like, Mexicans roll their R's when they don't have to. Alright, Alex, yo estaba troqueando con la torta and I was just fucking around, man. And then some fool wanted to do a little roll race and, I would like, let's do it. But then I had an oil light, come on, man. And I was like, ¿qué esa mierda? So I said the torta, está muy pesada, puta. Yo creo que bájate en la troca para ganarle este cabrón. But then the oil light came on and I ended up finding out that the Kevlar clutches, the Kevlar belt, the belt, the pump drip, the belt se jodió la verga y se dio un chinga. It got fucked up. Se chingó bien chingado. Right? Did I say it right? You stupid motherfuckers. Is that how? Se fue a la chingada. The Kevlar belt se fue a la chingada, Holmes. I was like, okay. I have not heard that in the tuning queue. You know what I mean? So, yeah, in my line of work, I just haven't seen those issues. Do you know what I'm saying? Is it possible to... Oh, okay. TDC after the weekend, you'll have more material after Toto meets. I got a couple lined up. You know what I'm saying? Valley 10 Speed, thank you very much. Wednesday? Monday? Well, we'll see. Monday or Wednesday? Monday or Wednesday? Okay, sounds good. Let's see about Monday TDCs. I got some stories now, so we're good. Patreon knows. Thank you for answering my catch can question on Patreon. You got it, Christopher. I guess that was me. I have a 23 F-150 NA with a non-vented UPR catch cam. I get about 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil every 3,000 miles. Just FYI for the NA, dude. There you go. Ford should just throw in the towel and license the ZF8. How's the shit? How does the shit through? Yo, man, I like your shit through. Just curious about this, as tuning software on my BMW worked on what you're talking about. My 10R80 GT started missing its commanded shifts and it was NA. Driving around it shifted like shit. Now, the Mexican OT is the only one that I hear rolling unnecessary R's, unless that's a Texas thing. No, it's El Verga Larga. It's a Texas thing. It's a Valley thing. I spend my weekends leaving tampons on Camaros and Corvettes at my local parking lots. Don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Alex, what do you think of the DL Mexican men being exposed? What do you think of wait, there's DL Mexicans? Ustedes están metiéndosela por el culo DL on the DL? Wow. I thought y'all were super macho. Están metiendo la verga por el culo. Damn. Thought it was watching Apocalypto for a second. Don't know what you're talking about. Hey, Alex, I had no idea that... Oh, I already got that. That's Sebastian Delgado. So, where'd you hear this, Julio Ozuna? DL Mexicans, pato, pateria, marica. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say, well, gay guys. I don't know, man, because one guy said this. Like, rappers are sus. You know what I mean? I think, where's Birdman? Birdman beat Canelo, Jelly Beans, we suck. Some guy said, I like to fuck him in the ass while he beat up the pussy. Let me see. Sasso, Pocket Slurping, Deleter, them guts. Yeah, this guy.
I like to fuck him in the ass while he beat up the pussy.
I like to fuck him in the ass.
I like to fuck him in the ass while he beat up the pussy.
I like to fuck him in the ass while he beat up.
I like to fuck him in the ass while he beat up the pussy.
Yeah,
Fuck that shit, nigga.
I need a Spanish version of that. How can we get a Spanish version of this?
Fuck that shit, nigga.
Wait a minute. Can we do that? Can we do that in Spanish? How can we do this in Spanish?
Fuck that shit, nigga. Fuck that shit.
Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished? Fuck out of here. No, there's nothing wrong with that. I assume those super pointy cowboy boots are the pride flag. Never mind. I know what they are. They're as straight as circles. Yeah, my friend mentioned DL Mexicans today out of the blue. Why? Is your friend Mexican? Someone summon Turvey and tell him his tires will dry rot before the engine gets fired up. They must look like Bad Bunny. What is Ram Ranch? God damn it. Now I gotta look at what Ram... I can't... Want it to be something real stupid. What is Ram Ranch? What is Ram Ranch? What is happening? See, the chat takes me to places I probably don't want to go. Ram Ranch? The Ram Ranch story, Tales from the Internet. The Cowboys Wild West, among the most classic subjects involved. A documentary to preserve the memorialize the lore and cultural impact of Graham McDonald's Cowboy Classic. I'm good. I'm going to pass on that shit. Thank you very much. Idea for 11 Labs get Stang mode saying wife the leader. Wife the leader. Let me see. Where is it? MBRP resonator deleter. Let me see. Hold on. I need okay, hold on. Oh, where is it? Okay. Okay. We can do this live. This is fun. We can do this live.
We have an MBRP resonator deleter.
Yeah, 11 labs. So I need voice cloning. For 11 labs, and we need someone that sounds very close to him. Let me see. Voice changer, text to speech, voices. Can I add a voice? Add a voice. Get started. Voices. Add a voice. Add a voice. Here we go. Less than a minute. 2 minutes. Okay. So what do I do? How do I do voice cloning? My voices. Add a voice. How do I create or clone a voice? Okay. Well, where is it? Voice design. Less than a minute. Design an entirely new voice from a text prompt. No. Create from your voice. Okay. 30 minutes of clean audio. 10 seconds of audio. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Drag. Let me see. Go to downloads. Deleter. Here it is. File delete. It's too short. Okay, so I need a longer voice, so I can't do it. So yeah, I'm not gonna go that crazy. But I tried. Ram sounds like meat spin. It's a song. I'm good. Is your friend Mexican? Nah, but he gay. Right. That's funny. Vent to air oil catch cans, run each line to separate cans, or could both lines go to one single can? Would that apply to a modular also? Don't hate me, I'm old. Joseph Lacey, you're good. You could do 2 into 1 can, or each side vented in its own individual can. It does not matter. As long as you are not recirculating one side and venting the other, it doesn't matter how you do it. 2 or 1, 2 into 1 or 1 into each on each bank, I think you are okay. What is the limit for the TR3160 in the Dark Horse? Why do you think the Dark Horse transmission is any different than the GT350 and the Mach 1 transmission? Go. User W1GM6CZ2I. What is the difference between the Mach 1 3160, because it has a 3160, the GT350 3160, or the Dark Horse 3160? The same transmission. It's not good. It's not meant to hold big power. Ask yourself this question. What transmission does the highest horsepower GT350s opt for when they're built? By Fat House Fab. Go. And ask yourself why they go with that transmission. The 330, okay, they're talking, Jay Walker and some other guy are having another conversation. Who is the guy asking about 3160? I don't know. Someone that just thinks that it's good because, hey Alex, here in Arab, we like the Hennessy car and the Tremec transmission. We do not trust nothing China. Not a damn thing. All are identical. Exactly. Mach 1 transmission. Afuera. 350 transmission. Afuera. Dark Horse transmission. Afuera. The reason the high horsepower GT350s built by Fat House run a built T56 is because the 3160s don't hold the power. They don't hold the power. Yes, they have a nice tight gear ratio. They feel great. But let's be honest. I have literally seen 3160s with the bell housing flopped off the bitch because the 350 clutch failed, the harmonics of the Voodoo rattled it loose, or it just couldn't hold the power when boosted. Most people, when they put a Pro Charger, when they put a Wishblower, a Vortec, a Paxton, or a Whipple on a Tremec, on a stock transmission GT350, what fails first? The transmission. Almost always. Thanks, I'll try to come up with some 3160 question. Hey, Alex, I went with a Alex, I want a Gen 3, not a Gen 2 or a Gen 1. I don't know why. I want to go as fast as possible, around 850 to 900, without spending unnecessary money. Do I go auto or manual? Justin Flood, why not a Gen 2? Tell me, explain to me like I'm retarded. Why not a Gen 2? Because everything you lined out in that question lended itself to supporting a Gen 2 better than a Gen 3. Built for Speed 5274 says, just curious, since we're on the Tremec topic, what horsepower does the 12 GT500 TR66 hold before needing to be beefed up? So now we're talking about the gears. You could take a stock. Now again, what does it mean hold the power? What does it mean hold the power? In fourth gear, on a dyno, a stock transmission could take 1,000 horsepower. But when you go to shift that motherfucker, It's a different story. So I would say much more about over 800 is when you're going to start seeing some issues, even with the TR60. I shattered the bell housing, says no, the shift counter. MT82 hold, what's the MT82 hold realistically? 700 horsepower with a clutch? I've seen 1,000 horsepower transmission hold. I've seen 1,000 horsepower MT82s hold. Hold. What does hold mean? What the fuck does hold mean? It like a baby on a dyno, on a single gear pull, or on a shift? The flywheel takes your legs off when it comes off. User, whatever, is going to ask about removing cats next. The problem with the MT82 ain't the MT82. It's the clutch. He's right. T56 Magnum is one of the only Tremors known to survive more than double the rated torque. Just saying. Don't 3160s have hollow gear shafts? Yes, they do. Looks like the only reason I don't want to swap the body panels. Looks is the only reason I don't want to swap the body. Looks. It's the only reason I don't want to swap the body panels. So there's no such thing as going fast and being cheap. You got to choose, what do they choose one? Fast or reliable? Fast and cheap or reliable and whatever? I don't know. Justin Flood, let me ask you a question. How would you have felt if you didn't have breakfast this morning? Justin Flood, how would you have felt if you didn't have breakfast this morning? The only reason Gen 3s are so popular is because certain YouTubers hyped up the 10R80. Exactly. TikTokers. There is no worse person to listen to than anyone on TikTok about Mustangs. Unreal. Hey Alex, is Lund going to be competing the September 20th versus other tuners for fastest NA 24 to 25 of 150? Hey Alex, how do I delete the mufflers? I can hold 200 pounds. Doesn't mean I can lift it or bench it. Thank you, Crumbopolis Michael. I can hold 1,000 from rolling down the hill. Can I push it up the hill? Probably not. We just need Stangmo to get his mistress to convince her Russian cousin at Femto to release it. What the fuck is happening? How much horsepower should my MT82 hold with a McLeod RXD hold? Here we go. Don't wait for the translation. Can we give him hints? Yes, the test. Here we go. You need to answer that question. This man is one of us. One of us. One of us. Good job, Justin Flood. So, if you want to go fast in the most economical way possible, you get a 10R80 stock. You get a positive displacement supercharger, whether it's an Edelbrock, whether it's a Odin, whether it's a Loki, whether it's a Whipple. Second gear leaf, stock converter, some axles and a drive shaft. Then you probably run low nines with a fuel system in the 85 and ID 1300s. Because you passed, I absolutely had to answer the question. Great job. See, this is the reason I say that. The reason I asked that question is your initial question was a little sus. So there is a litmus test, and that is the litmus test. If you didn't have breakfast this morning, how would you have felt? And any other answer other than hungry, you don't pass. Good job. Great work. Higher than average IQ. One of us. I need that. One of us Borg? Is it one of us Borg? One of us. One of us Borg sound. One of us. No. This is a fucking rap song. What the fuck? Shut up. Borg. One of us. Oh, no, wait. That's from, that's not from the Borg. That's from... Guys, help me out. What's the name of that movie? One of Us. With Will Smith. What the fuck's the name of that movie? One of Us. Oh, not that you care, Alex, but the Gen 3 B58 PID got cracked recently. It'll be another rush toward BMW. That's what we're talking about. What do you mean PID got cracked? What do you mean? Aren't they DI? What do you mean? iRobot. Thank you. iRobot. iRobot. One of us. One of us. One of us.
Still just hardware. Basic 3.
How much did you say these things cost?
Which one? Identify it.
One of us. I need that.
Which one?
One of us. One of us. You are one of us. So what do you mean the PID got cracked? Thank you. Toy Story, I Am Legend, Top Gun Maverick, Men in Black, Simpsons. Isn't it iRobot? It is iRobot. If I get an S550 again, I'm getting a Gen 2 and putting a twin turbo kit on it. That's what everybody should get. That's what I'm getting. Senior, I'm going to get you your money. I'm going to get that black car. I'm going to get it down here. I'm going to put twin turbos on it. Stock transmission, stock motor, shoot for 8s. Probably going to blow up. Hey, Alex, now that the 24 is tunable, 24 NA boosted combo video would be definitely getting some views. Basically, a Gen 3 remake. I know. Don't flame me. So, there is slight differences, okay? So, you need to understand about the fuel pump setup is different. So, I have to learn as much as possible and make sure that we're not talking out of the side of our fucking neck. Do you know what I'm saying? So, because Gen 3 is now tunable, we have to do the vetting. Can you get away with dual BAPs, stock pumps, E85, ID 1000s or 1300s up to what horsepower before you start seeing issues? GT350 is vetted. GT350, we've done the testing, stock pumps, stock lines, ID 1300s, twin BAPs, E85, good up to about 850 to 900 horse before you start seeing fuel pressure drop issues. And it does have a fuel rail pressure sensor. So the Gen 4, because it has a fuel rail pressure sensor, 2 pumps, 1 on each saddle. And I think it has dual FPDM if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen it. Once we figure out what the limits are, we can then learn and bring you up to date. Now, recently, Aldo, with limited traction and bitch-ass boost on a Gen 3, went 450 in Texas. 454, 60 to 130, bitch-ass boost, spinning its ass off. So once we get more on game with that, we'll figure it out. Do you know what I'm saying? iRobot, it's a Simpsons. Gen 3 B58 is PINDI. Okay, what year is Gen 1? What year is Gen 2? What year is Gen 3? New Gen 3 B58s got introduced with both PI and DI. Now that is going to be amazing. Congratulations, BMW. That is going to be a mad dash. Now that twin injection is the cheat code. You get the clean startup, you get the fuel efficiency, and the PI, you just put a set of ID 1300s in that bitch, a dash 8 feed, regulated, no regulator on the DI, and just flood that motherfucker with fuel and boost. It's going to be fun. So tell me what the years are. That's great. Oh my God, I just got home from the gym and the first thing I hear is one of us cracked. As in ECU unlocked? Yes, Johnny, I want turbos in my Gen 2 car. Currently have a Roush 2300. What is the power limit for a Whipple Gen 3 on 93? High 600s. High 600s. 680. Close to 700. About 350. Will Lund Racing ever get the fuel system game and produce fuel systems? Fuck no. Do you know how much that... You know how hard it is to produce a fuel system? Let me give you a peek as to what it takes to run a fuel system company. Number one, you have to carry it for different platforms. Dodge, Chevy, Ford, right? You got to make a certain hat. You got to do all the testing, the flow testing. You got to do all that stuff. Then you got to get to the gym, get in really good shape, do a lot of squats so you show your asshole to guys so you can supplement for the lack of income that your fuel system is bringing in. You got to get in shape. You got to jerk off to guys on Twitter. You got to do some crazy stuff. Lund will never get into that game. It is very tough to get into. Just want a fun manual S550 with loud forced induction noises. Prefer turbo, but Supercharged seems to be more reliable on 5.0s. Not reliable. It's just a matter of like less bullshit going on under the hood. They only recommend 4 innovation. Gen 3 is 2025 plus. Congratulations, people who cracked the Gen 3 B58 situation. Or S58. Good job. That's great. PI and DI. You are now going to see brothers are going to be like, man, shit. You want to run my Gen 3 S58? Oh, that's the DIM PI one. Because you were limited. There was a hard limit before, right? Get the lab coat E50. Now you can run E85. E85. straight off the trailer, right in your ass. They're going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem. Bussy Innovations. What do you think of Whipple Mustang with 93? Of WMI on it. I don't know what WMI is. Hard to produce fuel system. Have to sell booty pics on the side. Sell fuel systems. Just don't get a divorce. You need bussy pics for the startup. Too much liability in fuel systems too. It's so hard. You might turn gay in the process. Exactly. You guys knew exactly where I was going with this. One of us. Or be like on 3 and slap dropping pumps into a 350 fuel pump. Depends on the models, but roughly Gen 1, Gen 2. Okay, Gen 1, BMW 15 to 19. Gen 2, 19 to 22. Gen 3, 23 to present. Congratulations. Goddamn, the Lund Bussy Twin 69 fuel system. You have to ship it to Russia. Peasant chat on a Thursday. Hey, it's harder to decide whether I want the booty juice or a Lotus shirt than it is choosing a blower. Why not get both? So if I produce fuel systems, I'll never bust any jugs in a Hellcat in the back seat getting fucked from the back.
Cause I'm trifling. 40 Glock on my nightstand. Roll up his backwood before he put that pipe in. Bitch, I'm busting jugs in the Hellcat. In the back seat, getting fucked from the back.
But the way she says, getting fucked.
Cause I'm trifling. 40 Glock on my nightstand. Roll up his backwood before he put that pipe in. Bitch, I'm busting jugs in the Hellcat. In the back seat, getting fucked from the back.
She is nasty, but I guarantee if you spend the night with her, it's dumb. There's been girls that just, you rush them outside, right? You open the door, you're like, get the fuck out of here. You're like, oh, I gotta walk into your car. It's light out there. There's a lot of light out there. Motherfucking neighbors might see me with you. They see that I'm just pounding some torta, but I'm telling you, some of the nastiest girls are the best in bed. Crazy stuff. Just get both. Coochie leak. Booty juice is the best so far. Then someone else make a fuel system and the owner advertise them over the shoulder, man. Could you imagine? I don't know about all the kids, but Daylight F-150 kits installed matching on 3's crap fitment. Oh, Jesus. Example, like trimming to your wheel wells doesn't stop there. Oliver is talking that shit on Daylight kits. Unk, you got to put 12s in the Escalade. Yeah. 18s. 4 18s like Steve made. Like just stupid. I'd love that. Now, Alex, you rapping that a little too hard. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. I can sing it word for word now.
Cause I'm trifling. 40 Glock on my nightstand. Roll up his backwood before he put that pipe in. Bitch, I'm busting jugs in the Hellcat. In the back seat, getting fucked from the back.
Rooster! Wait, isn't this, who the hell's Rooster? Alice, I can't mess with Patreon a lot because I'm a truck driver and I'm always driving. But I'm here to support you as much as I can. I wish you the best, brother. And because of that, we're going to play the abortion song for you, Rooster. Thank you so much. And, oh my God, I want to learn this song. The eating song is easy to learn. But this one is just icing on the cake. Let's go!
BDF, nigga, baby, daddy free. That mean I ain't got a nigga, baby, coming out of me. So I'm ABORTING. On my way to the clinic, I forgot the plan B. Let's go. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. Let's go. Bitch, I got murder on my mind. Let's go. Yeah, bitch, I got murder on my mind. Let's go. Murder. Bitch, I got murder on my mind.
I forgot the plan B. Ain't no nigga cuffing me.
You can't put me on the shelf, bitch.
I'm outside with the team.
All these bitches having babies,
but then they finna be me.
Said he wanna settle down. Niggas selling all these dreams. He got 1 kid, 2 kid, 3 kid, 4. Bitch, he cheaper by the dozen if his ass have any more. And I'm only 25.
Turn it up.
Couple years
it's
to go.
Thursday.
I don't need a babysitter.
Cause this baby's gotta go.
It's a shortage on the milk. And them diapers be expensive. I ain't tryna be a MILF. So I swallow all his children. I got hyphy in my blood. So you know I'm big pimpin'. Niggas tryna fall in love. Tell them niggas I ain't with it.
That's a lot of N-word going around. You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of... Thank you for the $100. That's what you get for supporting the show. You get Shiesty Alex. Alex, I got back into a Mustang and I'm ready to get tuned by you guys. But before I do, I bought a bone stock 15 RS3. I want to make 700 on pump gas. Can't see it. What's all needed to get there? Well, the problem is going to be fuel quality. You're going to need at least a 75 millimeter pulley. The 2.3, once you start whipping it up, pretty hardcore. You're going to need octane. So I don't think you're going to really, I don't think you want to fuck with 700 on pump gas specifically. Because you're going to be 79 millimeter pulley. You're going to need to RPM it high. The octane has to be fantastic. So I can't guarantee that you're going to end up at 700. But I guarantee 650 is easy to achieve. Do you know what I'm saying? You got the pass. YDBT Shiesty, I would buy it. Yo, YDBT, hey, Ridge Prince, we got to get the YDBT Shiesty in the bid. You know what I'm saying? How do I add that to my Spotify? I don't know. Goddamn, he's suffocating himself. I'm dying here. You need to hear Hood Rats when you get a chance. Shit is filthy, and I'm here for it. No, it's going to get copyrighted. These two, for whatever reason, don't get copyrighted. It's real as fuck when the Shiesty comes out. Can't see the chat. Can't see the haters. Yeah, I can't see shit in this thing. I'm telling you. I literally have... I don't know. It's tough. It's real tough to see. But Alex, PBD has a cross-dress for May 900 on pump gas. You know, maybe that's the key. Maybe the key to everything is to be gay. Right? Like, is that the key to making power, to selling fuel systems? Is just to be gay? I don't know. Maybe you should follow Stunner's advice and...
I like to fuck him in the ass while he beat up the pussy.
This is how Mexicans look in the valley with them construction sites. We need the YDBT Shiesty shirt. Get on that shit right now, RPG. You have the Starry stashed in the fridge. Don't you, Alex? Don't lie. Oh my God, the YDBT Shiesty, I'd buy it immediately. I would buy a YDBT ski mask right now. YDBT ski mask. Bro, the YDBT ski mask. I can't see shit. Alex, ready to go out on the highway with a dirt bike and ride wheelies. We need the DMX music. The Rough Riders Anthem. DMX. Rough. That's going to get copyrighted like instantly, right? I can't even get the... I can't see shit. Rough Riders Anthem. Right? Like, it's going to get copyrighted, maybe. So. Oh, come on. Why does the video do that? Why does the video do that? Years old. That bitch still holds up. You know, if you're out there with your bikes, that's the song you play in your squid helmet that has like a mohawk in it. Pendejo, maricón. That's how Rough Riders roll. 720 on pump 93. Alex, how can PBD and VMP make over 720 horsepower on pump gas? Look, if you want me to desensitize your knock sensors and give you 20 degrees of spark advance, no problem. No problem. Don't hit me up when your ring lands take a shit. Don't hit me up when your rod flies out of the shit. Don't hit me up. You want 700 on pump gas? Agree to a disclaimer stating that I will shove spark down its throat until it makes a power number, because it can make 700 on the dyno. But the moment you take it off the dyno and that thing has to push its own weight around, it's a problem. Copyright so lame. Free your country. Copyright of doom. Stop, drop, open up shop. Wanna cry? Or Carnival Cruise. Carnival Cruise. Look, there are certain things that'll give you fatigue, and a Carnival Cruise is one of them. I will never go on a cruise in my life. I'd rather the 30-day-old dog shit before I turn gay for aftermarket sales. All right, that's enough shiesty, Alex. Holy shit. I can't see it. This thing does sound like a beep. My chair squeaks. It does sound like a beep. Let me see. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. How do YNs fuck with this? I don't know. Whoa. Holy shit. That was wild. I don't know how they run how they spin the block with that shit in the summer. How do y'all spin the block with that shit? I met DMX before he died. We selling him drugs. Brother, smoke right. It does sound like the smoke detector chirp. I need one for when I take out the bike. Sign the waiver, big boy. Sign the contract, big boy. That's right. Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract. Sign the contract, big boy. I'm gonna say that next time a motherfucker gets all stupid.
Mike, tell us what's going on. To say.
Dynamite, you mess with me up.
No, that guy on this
boy, sign the contract.
All right, sign the contract. You want to make 700 rear wheel horsepower on pump gas on your Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3. Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract. No problem. 20 degrees spark your vents up your ass, and we'll see what happens when you go what on the street. And you're like, have you seen video? Guys, pay attention to videos. Pay attention to dyno videos, okay? Go out there and be like, boy, he made 700 rear wheel horsepower, but there was a lot of black smoke out the bitch, right? You've seen these dyno videos where the guy's like, what? And you see the exhaust. That's like half of the catalytic converter flying off of the bitch. And you're like, yeah, 700 horsepower. What about the catalytic converter that flew out of it mid-pull? Oh, don't worry about that. It's all good. He was in my area in rehab. Wow. Alex, don't know how to... Alex, you don't know how to tune because you don't give me 1,000 horsepower R93. You need ethanol. Carnival changed the rules for their crews. Certain people were not having it. People act different when you ask them to put it in writing. Mess with me, I'll put your spark out. Sign the contract, it's on. YN pants down at their knees so they can't handle the shiesty heat. Gotcha. I run an 80mm pulley on a Gen 1, 2, 3 Roush Mustang, and I'm not pulling down any more than that. It's not sliding on the intersection. They're just trying to find the road out. Bondo Bird, Bondo Bird, do me a favor. The video you sent me of a guy in a sideshow, and he got his skull exposed. Don't send me that without giving me a disclaimer. I'm super queasy when it comes to that shit. He sent me a video of a kid who got run over in a sideshow shit. And his head, he turned around, his skull was showing. I couldn't. I am a ON. Me too, right? I mean, technically me too. And I still partake in 100 degrees sweatshirt day. That 700 horsepower pump gas runs with the yellow video about people trying to steal the tune. Black smoke, that's racing. Carnival Cruise, they be acting up over the chicken. Yeah, I heard about that. Not to mention how easy down figures are to fudge. Just send them on a Mustang down and fake the numbers. 1.3 on the parasitic multiplier. You can make whatever the fuck you want. Catter deleter.
We have an MBRP resonator deleter.
Oh, man. I saw that video, Alex. Womp womp. It was gross. Wait, but didn't you say Tuesday that kid could have a bomb strapped to him and you wouldn't care? That's a you or me thing. If I'm at war and some mini Haji is coming up to me, I'm going to blow his shit up. Shoot! Boom! Fuck it. Like, there was a video a while back about guys in a helicopter, and you'll see it on the internet. If you go on the internet, it was a friendly fire thing where they killed a bunch of civilians by mistake. It was a helicopter, and there's these guys who are on a car, and he just smoked everybody on the street. And then come to find out, they weren't doing anything wrong. They were just like wrong place, wrong time. I'm one of those motherfuckers that'd be like, all right, my bad, because it's war. It's war. You do it every war, and then they talk about war crimes. Boy, shut up. You think they're gonna? You think my enemy is gonna listen to the Geneva Convention? Wait, Habib, what? Do not chop his head off. It is illegal. What do you mean? Look right here, paragraph F, section D. Do not chop head. Oh, Ahmed, what are we going to do? Feed him and treat him humanely because the Geneva Convention says so. He don't give a fuck about that. Don't give a fuck about that. Don't put me in war. I'll kill everybody. I kill everybody. No remorse. You're going to give me a helicopter with these badass missiles, the Hellfire missiles and shit. Fuck. Shoot. Fuck everybody. Quarter panel won the battle. Whatever happened to the upside down pineapple cruises? Alex, what's up? Been a while, brother. Says B. Roberts. Stop, J. Walker. Pay your Metro PCS. I'm literally the same 3 jokes remix. What can a Gen 3 Whipple and headers and water methanol make? Stop it. Alex, you're going to go full Crusader on the Haji. Illegal alien trucker was like, right. What do you mean I cannot do U-turn in intersection? Have you seen how we drive in India? Have you seen India? driver. Have you seen how we drive in India? This is normal Monday. This is the look. In my country, we do illegal intersection all the time. It's legal. Why not legal in USA? Right here. It gets real fucking stupid right here. Yeah, no problem. See? Flow better system. More advanced. By the way, throw the plastic in the river. Yeah, I'm good. The problem with war these days is there's too many rules we have to follow, but our enemies don't follow the rules. Middle East Apache gun footage is fucking peak. You guys want to see some dark footage? Watch how these Apache motherfuckers smoke. A bullet goes by a guy's head. Doesn't even got to hit him. And it just like splits his shit like this. And you know what's coming into a close second is the Ukraine-Russia war footage. There was one where a drone dropped a bomb in a silo because the drone operator suspected there was like a guy hiding out in the silo. He threw it in there and he came out the silo like 110 feet in the air. And I'm like, what's that? Oh, that's a human. And it was like a rag going up in the air. All right, guys. I thought this show was about cars. It's about whatever the fuck I want it to be. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Today we talked about what to expect from somewhere along the line. We talked about what to expect with a tune with a factory supercharged vehicle. We talked about how torque reduction can make your car quicker, but not necessarily make more power. Or on some of the vehicles, they do have limiting factors like throttle and spark and all that stuff. So you can have a horsepower bump, specifically on the Raptor. Other stuff like Whipple stuff, you're not going to see a big horsepower gain, but you might see a performance gain based on the massaging of the torque management, how Chevy guys call it, or the torque reduction, how Ford guys call it, and it'll be a better performing vehicle. And now you're able to put E85 fuel systems, Gen 3 BMW supposedly getting PI and DI. That's going to be great to see the performance metrics of that, and people jump into that because it has port injection. That's going to be good if the Gen 3 stuff comes along and shows a huge gain over the Gen 2 and Gen 1 BMW stuff, similar to Mustang, Gen 3 Mustang, where you needed just a 1050X injector and you can make well over 1100 rear-wheel horsepower. I'm out of here. See you guys on Sunday for Peasant Chat. Be on Patreon, talking some shit, hanging out. And the poll said that you guys want the cookies to come back, and there were 223 votes saying you want Oh My God Cookies to come back as a sponsor. So I'm going to reach out to EPA and his lady Melissa. Hopefully she can put some extra lotion on them cookies. You know what I'm saying? I want to get that whiff. You know what I'm saying? And get them back on the show and keep supporting a local cookie supplier. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys on Sunday for Peasant Chat. We'll talk then. See you later.